magazine, which somebody already said they hated. They literally said, we've absolutely hated it, right? Start from the start. Okay. So fine. Look, I'm glad it's going to be on soon so we can actually like see what these paint expressions are about. But okay. So this is the new editor. Doesn't look like a spring chicken. I don't know what you know about. I don't know what about you, but my house, it's formal wear only for a Doctor Who watch party. So I've dusted off my tux and practically paradiddle or two accompany. What the hell? Okay. Is this guy one of the not we? I can't tell. Yeah, okay. I'm still looking forward to this. Let's have a look. Welcome to the Whoniverse. The Whoniverse is out. These posters were fantastic. We kind of discussed the Target novelization covers. I like the classic logo, the way they're using it, but I don't like this Peter Angelis mock style. I think they need to work out their own look, right? Which they haven't got yet. I think it'd be much better if they work out their own look. But oh my god, the Evil of the Daleks one, I am about halfway through. Freaking awesome, right? Freaking awesome. This is kiss of death. These two, right? This is this looks really bad news because they are horribly. Their work has been horrible thus far. So maybe Russell can whip them into shape. Who knows? And there's another new producer. Okay. 4 more cast members revert. I don't really care. Like, these people are in it. Fine. I'll see you when you're in it. Okay. What's this? Treasure from the archives. Ooh. A huge online archive of BBC Doctor Who material has been made available by Doctor Who material made available by BBC. Currently, archive at bbc.co.uk. Doctor Who features curated journeys through the archives and bring the show's extensive history life, which include interviews. Let's have a look. Does it link to it? Oh, look at that! It actually linked to it. Fine. So, Russell 6 picks. What's this? Oral history interviews. Letter from Joanna Spicer. Letter from Beryl Virtue. Okay, from 65. The day Doctor Who became the Doctor's Lab. Trailer of 2009. Okay, fine. This looks quite fun. I'm actually somewhat intrigued by this. This looks quite fun. But yeah, look, I mean, this is so kind of huge now. I think about it, but like, there's so much going on. There's like so much going on. It just falls through the cracks. But that sounds fascinating. The two showrunners and the show ruiner. Okay. Like, stop trying to legitimize. I mean, I get. This is why I think they're going to retcon away, even though he specifically said, no, I'm not going to unwrite what my good friend Chris wrote. I think he kind of. I think unwrite's the wrong word. I think he's going to do a line or two of dialogue that makes it not matter anymore. I don't know how he would do that. Like, but I think there's going to be a reset, like a really simple, easy reset. One can only hope. One can only hope. Oh, this is a nice bit of artwork. Right, this is actually a really nice little bit of design. I like that. Good for them. Good for them. WhoTube. Let's see what they got here. More Chris fucking Chibnall. Leave me alone. First Doctor Who short story from a 1990 issue brought to life in this charming fan-made audio. Well, you know, you can get this done really easy now with AI. The Dalek 63-68 team examines the crazy cataloguing of the BBC's colossal army of Daleks from 2005 to 12. Not really interested, but okay. Has a scene from 1966 10 Planet episodes have been reconstructed incorrectly? Examine the evidence. Okay. The compilated Dudley Simpson music transcribed and performed by a brilliant Jess Stewart. Well, okay. Oh, actually, honestly, I always found Dudley Simpson's music not that inspiring. Be honest. Like, it just seems like this is this guy who's got a job, and he just I don't know. It's like I struggle to think of great Dudley Simpson music and go, oh yeah. I mean, that's the best ever. 1 second. 1 sec. Let's go to YouTube. Dudley Simpson Doctor Who music. Let's see if we can pull it. Play all. Well, this one's probably it's a pattern. Yeah, we'll grab from over here. Where is it? Some makers, you think? Okay. No, again, nothing's really jumping out. Now I can't find the link to it. Again, but the point is, I've never found it that, that compelling. Here. Oh, here. Copy. Here we go. Download. Doink. Doink. No. Okay. We can't play much because we will get copyright struck to oblivion. Yeah, look, he's not Murray Gold, mate. I know. Look, it seems like they just needed music there, and he's the bloke who did it. It could have been that. It could have been Juliet Bravo, right? Letter on Sharon, a 2-pager. We will read that today, right? 2-pager. Production diary, 1 page. Thank God, boring as hell. It's always boring, right? It's always dull. Time space visualizer. That's what we got. Awards. Gayest gay ever, Rusty Davies being gay. Rusty Davies won the Writers Award for Nolly at the BAFTA Shimmery Award. That was okay. I didn't mind that. Peter Purvis plays Charles Dickens opposite Colin Baker's Ebenezer Scrooge. That sounds interesting. Rusty ever looks back at the 26th adaptation of Midsummer Night's Dream with I only very vaguely remember that. That must have got lost in the election, right, of that year. Jenna Coleman to lead the cast of BBC's 4-part thriller, The Jetty. The detective thriller will follow Detective Ember Manning as she investigates a fire which tore through a holiday home in Lancashire. Yeah, sounds like, okay, fine. Arthur Darvill, Juliet Stevens, Toby Jones are amongst the cast of Ruth. Okay, what's it even about? I don't know. After filming a wrap for Criminal Record for Apple on TV Plus, Buddy plays a police chief inspector Daniel Hegarty. The 8-part series promises to touch upon issues of race, institutional failure, and God, I'm bored already. Jesus, can't we just have a murder mystery? This month in 25th November 63. This sounds interesting. It's an article I would actually read. So here we go. You got the Star Beast previews, and you have a boy wearing a dress, a skirt. Not a boy, obviously, a woman with a penis wearing a skirt. And again, like it's like saying, I don't notice any aliens on this. This is all just normal. Okay. But yeah, this is something we will be looking at. Star Beast, right? The Star Beast, interestingly, it stars David Tennant, Catherine Tate, redacted. The TARDIS takes the Doctor and Donna on a journey to a faraway and mysterious place and abandons them in the middle of hostile action. Quote unquote. There's only one hope: a mechanism on board the TARDIS called the HADS, hostile action displacement system. If the TARDIS is in danger, it goes away. Goes where? Anywhere, but only comes back when the danger is gone. I turned it off years ago. I mean, I never land anywhere. Once spent 3 years in orbit, and I thought, oh, turn the bloody HADS off. But if the TARDIS is rebuilding itself, maybe it's clicked back on. You mean we land in the middle of hostile action? Yeah. There's always something bad. Run away, fine. So this is the one cloaked in the most mystery, Wild Blue Yonder, and this is the one where apparently he talks about the Timeless Child. So I'm intrigued to see what they do with that, right? So this is what I'm really intrigued to see. I'm actually kind of excited about this. I need to see a trailer, right? Unfortunately, I need to see a trailer. And I'm intrigued about the cut as well. And also the colorization looks very, it doesn't look modern, looks very nice. Like, this doesn't look good to me. The purples there just don't, I don't know. Look, you got to see it in action, in motion. And that's a very pink shirt she's wearing. I don't know. Again, like I can't poo-poo it without seeing it. Hopefully, this will be a gateway to all the 60s Doctor Who, which is some of the best telly ever made. Benjamin Cook, yeah, I know he's a douchebag, okay, and a lot of people don't like him. I wouldn't restrict myself from seeing something I want to see, enjoying myself in a way I want to enjoy because he's a douchebag. Like, yeah, I know he works in it, and look, a lot of people say this is blasphemy. Right, this recut is blasphemy. I got to see it, right? I'm kind of excited to see it. Neil Patrick Harris is the toy maker. Yeah, look, this is I'm actually excited about, right? I think he's perfect casting for this. At least he has the potential to be. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the interesting thing, right? We'll look at this in more detail another time. They finally got down their 60th anniversary poll, and because they did it in such a factual, stupid way, they it's hard to work. It's just so Jodie could get a look in, right? They didn't just do do all of them in order. They said, oh, the best of this Doctor, the best of that Doctor. So finally, we get to see what everybody thinks is the best stories. Heaven Sent is number one. I strongly disagree, right? Strongly disagree. World Enough in Time, Doctor Falls, I think is very good. I don't think it's number two. Gentle Daleks is above both of them. Case of Aranzani, again, they're the Doctor. On a par with World Enough in Time and Doctor Falls. I mean, I really did love that. Blink is excellent. Human Nature and Family Blood, that deserves to be in the top 10. I agree with you. City of Death deserves to be in the top 10, as does Remembrance of the Daleks, right? It's interesting, though, all right? It is interesting because it's like, it's kind of like rather than anyone's really favorite story, they just went for the aggregate default, right? But yeah, we will be looking at this in more detail, right? There's a lot in this week's issue this month's issue that I'm going to read, which is very rare. I know this is written by Ben Cook. He's a good writer. Again, I wouldn't not read a Paul Cornell Doctor Who thing because I think Paul Cornell's a douchebag. Look, I ain't like, everybody's got weird ideas about everybody weird douchebag. It's fine. But yeah, this is a location reporting filming report. Well, and look, the more I'm looking at Yasmin Finney, the less feminine Yasmin Finney looks somehow. Because, like, I don't know, I just look at that big Adam's apple. What do you want at me? This sounds really interesting, right? It's an audio recording, so they don't have to. Are they in costume? Colin Baker as Ebenezer Scrooge and Peter Bowes as Charles Dickens. Sounds really interesting. I would love to go to that. Right, that does sound like a lot of fun. Tate and Tate. So now Benjamin Cook talks to Catherine Tate about coming back to Doctor Who. I mean, like, all of these things are big articles that I'm going to cover. Right? I mean, this is a major interview. Wow. And then a taster before the feast. So in-depth coverage of Tales of the TARDIS. Yeah, it used to be this thing would be like such union. Okay. How does Nicola Bryant's tits still look so good? I mean, she's in her 70s. That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, hey. Oh. Get me a cold shower. I'm like, why? Why am I permanently seeing vestiges of fucking Jodie? Leave me alone. So this is my Simon Gurrier. I love this cover of the book by David Whittaker. It's written by Simon Gurrier. I bet this is good. So he wrote a book about Simon, but it like matches the first Daleks novelization. Then they got this big Doctor Who magazine special for £20. That seems a bit much to me. If you want to check out early, I forgot Underwater Menace is coming out this week. I totally forgot about that. That's huge. If you want to check out early Doctor Who comics, early Tom Baker Doctor Who comics, this is wonderful. This is totally worth the £30. It'll be really good. I don't think I'm buying Liberation of the Daleks. It depends how much I like the new Doctor Who. 60 update in 60 years. Oh yeah, it's Jodie's well-worn sex toy looking sonic screwdriver. I mean, it does look like she masturbates with it. Why would they do that? This is awesome, right? I love this. Is it still on YouTube? The college students made their recreated Mission the Unknown. I love this idea. More of this, the better. I would again, when I talk about it, I'd love them to do this with Marco Polo with like Stephen Noonan. That'd be fantastic. Oh, go away. Okay, I like this about the Jodie era. Swarm's jacket. I think Swarm was a great villain. I think Swarm was a really, really great villain, right? So, and I don't say that about much about the Jodie is, but. And then the Rasputin dance. Okay, again, I think that's a good idea. So I haven't read this for the last few episodes. I guess I'll read it before the weekend, and then I'll do a full recap of the entire story. Something about Daleks in virtual reality, and then I don't know. Now they're fighting real Daleks, and finally the sonic screwdriver goes down. Right, sonic screwdriver goes down. But at the end of the story, they're still in the Whittaker TARDIS, right? It's the weirdest thing. Is explaining where the TARDIS went? Oh no, that's what oh no, Jules Rimet's melted over everything. I have no idea. Hope they didn't turn it. Maybe that's why they have to regenerate the control room. I don't know. I do know this is freaking awesome. Evil of the Dalek. I'm so loving this. So what the great conceit about this is a novelization of the repeat of Evil of the Daleks, right? So in the 60s, they when after Wheel in Space, they had a bit of a season break, and they showed a rerun of Evil of the Daleks, but beforehand, you had Patrick Down say, are you sure you will want to join us? Well, it could be very dangerous, you see. And he puts on this headset and they start playing Evil of the Daleks on the screen of the TARDIS. And so in between each episode, it cuts back to that, right, of them in the TARDIS watching it in Zoe. It's such a nice conceit, right? It really is. So when is this coming out, Underwater Menace? Yeah, let's have a look. Amazon.co.uk. The... should we do Doctor Who: The Underwater Menace? Doctor Who: The Underwater Menace. Blank. It's coming out very soon, isn't it? Pre-order. Oh, November 13th, 4 days. Although I have to tell you, the animation method, I'm intrigued to see it because, like, I don't know which crew this is. The one that the people who did Evil of Daleks was very good, right? So Heaven Sent, the best story of all time. It's just not rewatchable. That's really the problem with it. And yeah, look, Capaldi can totally do the an hour monologue, right? His voice is hypnotic, but it doesn't really work, I'm afraid. So Gallifrey War Room. Did I miss it? Did anyone have a page saying reviews? Gallifrey War Room is a series that I'm not listening to. I don't like the writers on it, and frankly, a lot of the stuff's been shockingly bad. I'm looking at you, the Eighth Doctor Chronicles, the Eighth Doctor Adventures, Audacity, which of course they're going to give a glowing review to because it features an audacious, wonderful woman. I got it so bad. This is freaking awesome. Actually, I really should do a review of. Have I done Enlightenment yet? I think I've watched it. I'm not sure I've done a review of it yet. Yes, they are delightful and behind the sofa. That is correct. Sylvester McCoy and Colin Baker. They are a really interesting combination. And the extras on this are, fuck off, redacted. Like, I'm sorry. Every time you thrust people in my face who are women with penises, I just go, that looks fucking weird. That doesn't. What's wrong with those women? Oh, they have penises. And like, maybe just back off from it a little bit, right? No, just in your face all the freaking time, in your face, relentlessly. Yeah, and I'm not bothering with this latest Master box set. Yeah, sorry. Oh my god, the third and fourth Doctor come together for. Oh yeah, this is a book on tape. I don't know. I just find them too good. So Jay Gritters. That's one of the things that really annoy me about Audacity, her being the new companion of the Eighth Doctor. She's a great actress with a fabulous range, and like she knows what she's doing. And they waste her on drivel, on man-hating drivel. And like, I am sorry, Lisa McMullen, who invented this character and wrote the first story for her, that she's felt belittled by men before. Get over it, darling. For fuck's sake. Oh. 10th Doctor moments. Okay. He burned up a song to take about. I will watch that as well. I will read that as well. Maybe we'll do the best of the 10th Doctor at some point. And then Christmas special coming out December 7th. Well, they want to have they still won't have had the third special out by then, which is when I think we find out what the whole mystery is. What's it? Sufficient data, crunching the numbers, and big ideas. Simon Gurrier infographic. Oh god! What again? Why am I constantly seeing the Whittaker fucking era pushed in my fucking face all the fucking time? Found as a child, like why? I was just fuck off with it. Like again, it taints all of Doctor Who. Go away. That's a weird thing to put there. Okay, well that was the cover from last week. I mean, it looks really good, but it's still the cover from last week, and I think that's a good adaptation. This is like, are they out their mind? Doctor Who, the Art of the New Adventures. I mean, £40 bloody for that. No, that's not happening. Love these posters though, even though they don't come out right on this. But are they all by Lee Binding? Okay, because these are the top 10 stories. Blink, and again, it's a shame they don't come out that way. So I know. Look, this looks like a good bloody issue of Doctor Who magazine to me. I'm sorry. I don't think there's much you could legitimately complain about. Right, I really don't. Okay. Of the how many pages am I going to read in this? Right, I might actually read the letter from the new editor because he looks. I don't know. I'm not judging a book by the cover. So 1, 2, 3, right? I'm interested in the bit from the archives thing. That looks interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is basically the whole magazine. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, 30, I mean, it's just... Yeah, this is a good issue. What do you want out of me? In terms of, yeah, I will read this. I think this is a good issue, right? I absolutely do. So for me, it's a recommend, right? But I'm optimistic and excited about the new era, right? I got to see Shooty Gatwa in action before I can say yay or nay. I'm probably got to see him in for more than his first story. Always annoying when Christmas Invasion really didn't get to see much of Tenet until like the last 10 minutes. But I did like seeing the interior of the TARDIS. I thought that was very cool. Right, let's go over here. Letter from the showrunner. What do you got to tell us, Russell? I mean, again, we got double pager. Okay. On the eve of Doctor Who's wonderful evolution hitting our screens, Rusty Davies talks about change. Change, my dear. It's not a moment too soon. Come here, gather round. Come on, all of us. Come on. Yes, you too. Let's huddle. Okay, I'm huddling. Yes, I know this issue of Doctor Who magazine is designed to welcome in new viewers. Is it really? I would have thought the next issue. Good. Pull up a chair. Hello. But this time, more than ever, let us gather. The old guard, whether you've been here since the Cave of Skulls or Rose Tyler, or going down to the basement with the lottery, Rose Tyler going down the basement with the lottery money, or Peter Capaldi punching a diamond ball for all eternity. We've seen a lot. And now, here it comes again. Change. We've seen it a lot. Change, my dear. Yeah, listen. If you can change your way from the Whittaker Chibnall era, yeah, we're on board. And will you stop legitimizing it desperately? Which makes me think he's not going to unwrite it, but somehow he's going to make it kosher. Don't know how. Let's sit and consider, faithful viewers. I usually write these letters at home, but today I'm writing in my office in Badworth. On my desk, a script for 2025 containing the words radiation, moth, and skiffle. Could that mean we're seeing the Daleks? Down the corridor, rehearsals with Shooty and special guest for our 13th episode. Below me, well, which one's going to be the 13th episode? Like, is Shooty's first regular episode going to be the 4th one? Right? 5th one, I should say, because you got these 4 specials. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the earliest 13th episode will be season 15, episode 1. Okay, or whatever, season 2, episode 1. Whatever they're calling it. Look at Doctor... wait, 13th episode. We're building a hotel and a chamber and a hospital. You want to go to Gaza, mate? They want all of those things there. And a chamber and a hospital. But up here, I'll close the door. Let us pause. Okay. He's building that in his head. Is that what he's saying? I think. I don't know. Look at Doctor Who. This show is nuts. It goes through the most seismic tectonic plate shifting changes while we cling on for dear life. When I lived in Los Angeles, we've been told to keep a wheelie bin stacked full of tin food in case of earthquake. So I now just keep a stack full of food in case of the destruction of society, which could happen at any moment. Plate shifting while we cling to dear life. When I fight the food for earthquake. Now, dear reader, might be time to buy placards and pilchards and beans. But this year could be different because it has an added component. More than ever before, we have the raging voices online. We have the culture wars. Yeah, people on the left wing only started to acknowledge the culture wars are happening when they started completely losing them, right? I wonder what it would have been like in times gone past. I don't know. It's interesting because how much of our division in society is caused by social media algorithms making us crazy and making us want to fight and making us tribal, right? The first great seismic shift in Doctor Who happened in 1966 when the lead character slumped to the floor, and what? He did what? He changed with a different actor for good. Can you imagine that happening unannounced now in 1970? Well, they tried to do that with Rose, didn't they? With Christopher Eccleston. In 1968, there seemed to be comparatively little record reaction. We had Toya Wilcox say she was really miffed, right? And then she found the Cybermen sexy because they wore all that rubber. Did we question less? Did we just watch? Well, yes. I've got a clear memory of Seismic Shift 2 in 1970, the move to color before my time, mate. Now, that didn't mean much. We didn't buy color TVs overnight. We were still watching in black and white. And, Planet of the Daleks. But crucially, the 1970, half the number of episodes. Axe, brutal. But again, we really didn't have any terminology for the TV processor. I didn't see words like season back then. I just said, it's on less than it used to be. Well, again, I was brought up in the 80s. Honestly, it had what? How many satellites? 6, 12. Like it was on for like 24, 26 episodes a year. That's kind of a fair whack. Honestly, but again, we accepted the changes with a shrug. Things happen, and they're simply kept on watching. We might complain about it online, and today's online world, but we weren't any wiser. Well, it's a more innocent world. I think better for it. The biggest change in Shift 2 was the fact that the Doctor was trapped on Earth, and in some episodes he drove through London in a silver hovercraft. Oh, that was fantastic. Which can fly. I mean that was all the Pertwee era, wasn't it? Oh my God, this program can change, but in those cheesecloth flared, horribly bopping 1970s, we didn't need the internet to seethe and grumble. I had my neighbor Siri. Still friends now. It's not as good as it used to be. He would mutter. Well, it used to be when I was young, before the internet became a thing. People would talk. You go to Forbidden Planet. You go to comic book stores, comic marts, Fitzroy Tavern. That's where people are not happy with that now. Well, I used to go there. And bear in mind, we had no archives, no books, no history. Of Doctor Who. Yeah, that only really started around like the 20th anniversary. Peter Hanning, 20 glorious years, right? Absolutely none whatsoever. Seriously, imagine it. I don't have to. I was there. No references other than memories. So Siri could tell tales of the faraway Zarbi that were ancient myths, in his opinion. The received wisdom of our Swansea Street. Through those secretly I rebelled, loving every second of Joe and the Brigadier and the monsters in the nuclear power station. Seismic Shift 3 is more of a shift in my own life. Moving from the comprehensive school just as John Purdy became Tom Baker. Tom Baker. Those events feel proudly entwined. Proudly entwined that I think is when I became a fan. 11 years old, I had made the decision to keep watching while other boys turned to girls and football and cider. Yeah, that was kind of me too. I spent the next 10 years thinking that those boys had more fun than me, probably, until realizing the fun I was having was mine, and it was different, and it was wonderful. And look, we all just love Doctor Who. That's it. Wait. No. Don't eat the pilchards now. Stop. Si, where was I? The seismics lurched onwards. Peter Davison's episode moved to weeknights. That was weird. It was nothing to those of us who are watching on BBC Worlds, who often had episodes shifted from Sundays to Sundays Monday. Really? I didn't know that. So the Welsh language program could have a Saturday night slot. Colin Baker's episode came 45 minutes long and a fine innovation. And then we had the hiatus, and fans were waking up, mobilizing campaigns. Well, this is when the interwebs were starting, right? I remember. I mean, the interwebs really started getting going with like news groups. Really, that was around the 90s. That's when the New Adventures had its domain, and it had Gallifrey Base as well, or Outpost Gallery as it was called there before it became like a political nightmare. Mobile and campaigns posed a charity thing. Yes, a charity thing, except the sales were so poor, not a penny went to charity. Bless them, but it was an awful song, right? A doctor industry, it was awful. But the shifts went on. I mean, also just a weird collection of people. But the shifts went on, including the biggest shift of all, cancellation in '89, and then Standby, Slicing Shift Extraordinaire. Doctor Who returned in '96 as a movie set in America. And I really loved it. I have to tell you, I love the 96 movie. Goodness me, there's 5 of me now. We saw the Doctor's mother was human, but he's only half Gallifreyan. Gosh. We talk about that. We think about that a lot. We absorb the shocks, and as fans, we cope and strategize. We satirize, and we write our own personal canon. This must be talking something about the Timeless Children, about how he's going to deal with it. This has to be, yeah. I really think he's gonna make it kosher. Don't know how. Where are we up to? And some things exist in perpetual state of mystery. In 1963, the Doctor has a granddaughter called Susan. Okay. In 1983, the 5th Doctor meets Susan and says hello, and doesn't even hug her or say how are you. Why? And then in '96, the Master is amazed to discover the Doctor's mother is human. What the Master's old friend, his Academy pal, he didn't know. And what do the viewers do? We go on. We simply go on. We absorb or we love. Again, this is talking about dealing with bad canon. And we look forward to the next episode. He's saying move on. He's saying, look, we just got to move on from the Timeless Child, like we did from the Half Human. But I think the Half Human thing is, yeah, that's one thing. Again, let's see how he deals with it. But I think the Half Human thing is to retcon. It's easier to retcon. It's one line. Maybe I always thought he was half human in that regeneration, right? He was like, oh, the Doctor's half human. Like that would make sense, I guess. Yeah, we will think so. Yeah, you probably know the latest sites, which is the return in 2005. Stephen Moffat's astonishing, brilliant, glittering Doctors from 2010 onwards. The Master becoming Missy. I think that was great. And the slinky seismic shift of the 8th Doctor, who disappeared off screen in '96, finally got to regenerate in 2013, but only on the red button. And then Jodie Whittaker fell through the roof of a Sheffield-bound train, and the impact was so great it destroyed the show. Bumped the entire show onto Sunday nights, and then she stood up in the records and smiled so bright. Hey, I'm real bright, me. It changed the Time Lord and television drama and the whole bloody culture for better, for good and for better. How? How was it for good and for better? For good and for better. Nah, but how? Like, really, Russell? You make me nervous, mate. It's really the most fascinating show because it changes, and yet it stays the same. Doctor Who is all about change, say the fans. No, I don't. It changes intrinsic to it, but it's not all about change, right? It's very different. Change is built into the DNA of Doctor Who, but it's about personal revolution, I would say, right? Individual, it's like morality, individual freedom, thinking for yourself. That's really the most fascinating to me. Change it stays. Doctor Who, all has changed. Doctor Who is all about change, but I sit here planning the next story, which is about a blue box lands and the Doctor steps out. Look. and falls an invasion of Earth, thinking to himself, well, is it? But I know what you mean. I feel that the show changes the feel of the show changes the essence. Joe and the Doctor and the Silver Car are in a different world, a different style, but and a different genre to Clara facing the Raven on Trap Street. Well, that's true, but it all feels like one cohesive whole to me. And now in 2023, that high wire tension of approaching change is in the air, and the Doctor mysteriously has a face he's had before, and by the time December rolls around, we'll have yet another new face in a show that's now drops worldwide on a vast streaming platform. Well, again, we're looking forward to the Disney Plus proper launch. New and old at the same time. It still stays in its cradle Saturday night. The good night home of the it's Saturday night home of the good old BBC. Listen, it was on Sunday nights now. It's on Saturday nights. But as I said, voices are loud this year, shouting with rage and horror, sometimes circle around Doctor Who. It's often that's not about Doctor Who herself. It's not about expressing anger and fear about life, about love, about self. This is toxic fandom, right? They scream and scream and scream because this is a group of people who are hanging on by their fingernails, right? Feels like the world's collapsing. But yeah, it's not about Doctor Who. It's about expressing anger and fear about life, about love, about self. That is toxic fandom, 100%. And I get that. These old discussions are growing up. The old days we sit in our bedroom and work out the world all on our own. We will sing along to Top of the Pops to express our lovely, lonely hearts. Now we type it out, and there's always going to be it's always going to be clumsy because people express themselves isn't easy. Even birthday cards are hard work. So trying to say that, say what you think about life and love and sex and telly in the form of words typed on a page, read by strangers. Oh, nightmare. No wonder it goes wrong. But now, I think this is the only one where we meet the changes to come with joy. Well, we did, right? We did until Jodie. Like honestly, we were all very burnt by Jodie, and Chibnall. Like that's the problem, right? We were all very, very, very burnt by that. Like we don't live in such an optimistic time that we used to, right? We don't live in such an innocent time as we used to. We've had Doctor Who literally weaponized against us, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to be called Nazis by these like weird evil children, right? None of that had been fun. So I don't know. Like it's not the same world as it used to be. Right, I hope you can make it so like it's Doctor Who again, right? So it's Doctor Who again that doesn't hate us and isn't broken because it is broken right now. That's for the bottom line. Doctor Who is broken, right? And it was broken and it was hateful. I hope it can reverse both, right? Change has got an answer, but will the change be for the better? That's the question we're all asking. I'm not asking for good reviews. I got myself for that. But I think the episodes are fabulous. But if you don't like something, don't exhaust yourself. Just smile and be glad that some people are happy and wait for the next seismic shift to come. So I don't know. Do you think that he's going to not unwrite the Timeless Children, but somehow make it kosher? Like, oh, there's plenty of universes that happened in. Maybe we jump to Time Track or whatever. It already happened, but the old continuity is back. Like, yes, it was on Sundays. Now it's on Saturdays. I hope so, right? I hope so. Because the program has trained us well. We have embraced flying cars and red buttons and the Watcher and the Garm. Well, the Garmin's the hardest out of all of those. Garm really mars a fantastic story, right? I don't think I have reviewed Enlightenment. I really got to get to that. Garm really does mar a fantastic story. Maybe granddaughter is Gallifreyan word for friend. No, I don't think so. Which means we can delight in anything. Right. And right now the TARDIS is heading to Skaro, and a wounded spaceship is heading for London. And Sean is taking an extra shift in his taxi because he's short of money, and Sylvia's delivering a curry, and Donna Noble's daughter with a penis needs to go shopping for eyes. And as these things converge, hold on tight, clutch the tin of beans, because the next earthquake is rumbling away on the horizon. Here we go again. Again, that wonderful use of the Brigadier's line. I don't know. Like, his optimism is very infectious, right? I find it genuinely infectious. I just hope it works, right? There's a lot I don't understand how it can possibly work, right? I really don't. But like, I hope it works, right? I do hope it works. So, Rabbi, what are your thoughts on the Resistance Fandom? I haven't seen it yet. I really got to pee. I will check that out. We'll talk about the My Cock Rages On. Really? That's your name here? My Cock Rages On. I got to put this on screen because tell you, that doesn't do that when you get older, right? Right? You more just massage it back to sleep. What's Resistance fan film? Let's have a quick look. Resistance fan film. Oh, man, I really need to pee. The Star Wars Resistance. We got a Star Trek Resistance. We have what's this? Like a second doc. I don't know. Okay, fine. We're going to look at the trailer for this. Okay. You stifled my pee because I am intrigued. See, the trouble with the Doctor Who fan films is the Star Trek ones work better, I think, because it's less dependent on having a first-class actor, right? Than Star Trek, right? I don't think you need first-class actors for that. This looks very good. This looks very professional and well put together.
We've only got to land it on a train line. That's what we've done.
Got to get the old girl shifted before the 7:15 at Dover comes steaming along here and smashes it to bits.
Is that Ben and Polly or different people? I can't tell. Is that Jamie? Okay.
Run! Who were those men?
French Gestapo.
Ben will free Jamie, and then the four of us will meet back here.
I think we've all seen enough of this time and place, don't you?
It kind of works better on audio. But look, this looks really cool.
What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. Sorry.
I really would rather not have to shoot a young lady.
Yeah, I think audio is the place for fan entertainment. But again, I don't want to diss it because making video is like insanely hard and expensive, and especially recreating these roles, it's very hard work. I mean, you need like very professional actors, especially Troughton, who is full of expression, right? But man, it's like I really support the. Salute the actors.
I know what the three of you are.
And I don't know if she's supposed to be Polly, but she's very hot, okay? I find her very hot.
I know what the three of you are, and I have good reason to believe that one of you is a Gestapo spy.
Randall's right. My uncle.
I I'll check it out. That certainly looks interesting, right? I'll check it out before next stream, Saturday night. I think maybe you're doing a fan film. You're probably better making your own Doctor and your own TARDIS crew, because it's recreating is very difficult. Very, very. I mean, Stephen Noonan can do it because he's such a good actor, right? But I will definitely check it out. Certainly, much respect to the people who are making it. Fine. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.